All right, all right, all right. Okay, so we're going over homework. And, okay. And the first homework assignment drop was by Kai. And you said, I just realized price never closed below the last higher time frame monthly swing and is at the OTE for a very long-term buy, according to the Fed. Okay. So what you're saying is never close below. Okay, so you're saying you had this. Oh. I don't know why I did that. Hold on. Why is it doing that? Pin. So it's gonna let me draw. Oh, okay. I see what I did. Got it. All right. So you say you had this move 1, 2. Oh, this look real ugly. 3. Okay, so let me see if I can erase that. Hold on. Let's see if it's gonna let me erase. This is the first time for this. Insert, that's a sketch, that's a draw, shapes, text, sign, just size, fill. I don't know if it's gonna let me erase it. It should let me at least. Nope, that's a rotate. Oh man, I thought I was doing something. Thought I was doing something. What's this right here? Nope. Okay.
I'm surprised that pencil won't give you an option to erase.
Huh? I know. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It's not even letting me undo what I did. So, okay, let me just do this. Let's see if this will work. Let me go pull it up again in the chat. Hey, Brett. Brett, you better get to Britain. You better get the homework.
I'm uploading it now. Hey, guys. Hey, Britt.
Share.
Your charts look really good, Ty.
Okay. Okay. So what I wanted to go through was, and I'm going to read your comments as well, but I wanted to go through and because I can't erase anything, so I'm going to try my best to not mess it up. So we had the break of structure. So that meant this was our, okay. So this was our swing low, right? And then we had this break of structure. So this was our last swing low. So price broke that low. Oh, wait a minute. Let me do something. Is it letting me do something? No. Okay. So price broke that low, which means this was our this thing is crazy. Okay, so it's giving me, I should be using, let me go back to here. Okay, so that was our low. So that means this was our supply zone, right? That price pulled back to. and then started selling. Oh, shoot. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me see. That's crazy. Okay. A little. So, okay. So, and then started selling, right? So this was our, why is that? Oh, shoot. Let me just go to, oh man, I thought I was doing something. Edit. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. File. Screen share, export share. Tools. There's no undo or nothing. Edit. Oh, wait a minute. There's undo. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, so Control Z. Okay. Okay, that works. We can, okay. Now that that works, I can figure the rest out. All right. So we had this pull back into our supply zone, right? And this was push number 1. Okay. And then once we got the break here, this was push number 2. Okay. And then we got a pullback and then a break. So that was push number 3. Once this break happened, price did not pull back into the supply zone, and it's okay. And then once this break happened, price pulled back into your supply zone. Price pulled back into your supply zone. So now we have, this is the first cycle, and now we have this break, which makes this push number 1. And then we had this break, which makes this push number 2. So once this one happened here, price did not pull back to the supply zone, and it's okay. But then you had this break here, right? And then price pulled back to the supply zone. Do y'all get that? Does that make sense for everybody?
I'm tracking.
And this was a full pullback for 2 and push number 3. So this is all push number cycle 2. That makes sense? Because it's 1. Let's see. You got 1, 2, full pullback, and then 3. And now that you're getting the pullback, and you get a break here. Now you got 1, 2. So you're probably going to get another push to the downside. Is that what you were saying, Kai? Although price continue selling to the, it could, let me see, hold on. First you said price broke structure here, came back to the 88 and
Oh yeah. Well, I'll mark that as just as the second one because it was about the same amount of pips in all three. So I figured maybe it was news that pushed. I mean, I don't know. That first move was kind of long. There was no pullback.
yeah, there was no pullback. So that's the first, that would be the, well, this one would be the first push. And let me see if I can, okay. So this one, once this cycle was complete, then you got a double top. This is push 1 and then push 2. So now you got, the second push is usually a full pullback and then a push 3. And I don't know how I went from thick to thin to thick. So you probably got one more. So with that being 3 pushes, what pair is this? AUD USD. That's probably the second push. So now you probably have, and then price pulled back to, this zone, broke structure here. So now you have one, oops. Now you have this one, I think this is 1, and then this will be, then you got to have 2, and then you'll probably have 3 before, is this a wick right here though? I couldn't tell if that was a wick. If that's a wick right there, rejection, it says.
It's a rejection wick, yeah.
Okay, so it rejected, but it didn't break this high. It didn't break this high here. So there's probably going to be either one more push down to either grab liquidity of that wick or to close below that wick at some point. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? So it says price broke structure here. Price broke structure there. And came back. You said it came back to the 88. Oh, you mean of this move right here? Came back to the.
Well, no, I flipped the
Because this is not the 88 of this move.
No, I got that third. I got the third pink one as the third move down. See what I'm talking about?
But the second one don't have 3 pushes yet. You know what I'm saying?
So you saying that the second and third box is just one push?
I'm saying this push it looks like 2 pushes. So you have this push here, this pullback. Oops. And then this push here. I don't know why sometimes it's thick, sometimes it's not. And then this is the second push. And then the second push gave a full pullback, like pretty much an 88 pullback, 78, 88 pullback. And then you have this third push. So that's what I was saying. I think this right here is the second. Whoop. I think this right here is the second push. I think this is push number 2. That makes sense? You see that? Because you had a break here, right? So that's one push all the way down. And then you had a break here. And that's 2 push. And now you have this break here. That's 3 pushes. That makes sense, y'all? Any questions? Britt?
No.
Adrian? Nene?
I see the pushes when you do it, but I don't always see them when I try.
My bad, y'all. I'm busy talking and the doggone thing was muted. I mean, I see what you're talking about, but every time I do the things, it's not always 3 pushes all the time. If it's like a long move like that, usually it's like done. That's what I would.
No, you gotta count. You gotta count that move. You gotta count the break of structure. So it's always a break of structure, just like here. So the first break of structure was here. That's the first one. And then there was a break of structure here. That's the second one. And then there was a break of structure here, which made the third push. It's always break of structure. So first, second, and then third.
Okay, I see that one.
That's the one cycle. And then we have the first, then we have this second one, and then we have this third one. So that's the second cycle. And
Can I
now,
ask a question, Kim?
and now and now we got this one. We're waiting for this one, and then probably one more.
Okay.
Probably this one here. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Adrian.
Okay, so those 2 middle boxes is one push. It's the second cycle.
This one right here.
Those 2 in the middle make up the second cycle.
You talking about right here?
Yeah, and the box next to it.
Yes.
She got 2,600. Yeah,
Yes.
26,000. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
So these right here
Okay.
make up the second
Okay.
cycle. And as you can see, this was the last structure, right? This was the swing high. Price pulled back to the supply zone. Price pulled back to the supply zone. So I'm expecting it to continue selling to the downside. So it's probably going to break these lows. And then she said, although price could continue selling to the negative 27, because I'm not on my chart. I'm not sure where the negative 27 is. And then she has this blue line down here. I'm not sure what that blue line is for, but that's probably where price is going. And I'll look at it in a second. But I would anticipate price continuing higher very soon. Reason rejection and weekly change of character. What time frame we on the monthly? So I don't see where there would have been a weekly change of character yet. Because price has not broken. I'll have to go to the weekly and look. Preparing for the buy up to break the last monthly swing. Okay, and if you fib the up move, if you feel the up move of this weekly internal change of character, price is currently meandering near the 618. My thoughts are that price will sell to the newly created supply zone for a long-term buy or continue selling to the negative 27 near 4847. So she's saying it's going to come down even further, which is what I think I see. Okay, so I'm going to switch over. What is this? AU? I'm going to switch over to Trading View for AU. AU. Okay, and she was on the monthly. Okay. So our last swing here, we had price break structure here. Okay, I see what you did. I see. I can see it now. So once price broke here, pushed back, and then broke here. That is why she's saying, I see it. That is why she's saying this was a break here. Or a change of character there. And so this could be pulling back to somewhere up in here to then start buying. I can see that. I can see it. And then she said on the weekly, there was a weekly change of character. So I'm assuming, and Kai, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that this was the first break. Pulled up here, then the second break, and then the third. So because price didn't break here and then broke here, I'm just assuming that this was your thought process that price is going to pull back here to then push here. So what I'm seeing is this was really the last swing right here. Right? So this was the last swing high. And this was the last swing low. And Kai, correct me if I'm wrong, that I'm just assuming just because it broke this high that that you may be thinking it's buying. But we got to remember the last swing is here. So when price gets here,
I might have saw it daily. I don't know.
let me see. Let me go back to the monthly. Yeah, it's still the same. It's still the same thing. And let me go to the daily. Let's see.
Internal change of character.
Right here.
Hmm?
You talking about right here
Wait, let me see the right side.
on the daily, huh?
Let me see the right side. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta look at my chart. I don't know.
So based on the weekly, this was the last swing. Price didn't break this high. It pulled back to, so this is probably coming down to this zone, this it's weekly order block right here. And it's either going to break through or it's going to, and my thoughts are it's going to break through. It's going to close because you still, based on the markup we did, it's still, we still have, let's go to the monthly. One more push. However, this could be coming.
Oh, I think that's the yeah. I think right there where you got the line is probably where I had it marked up for the internal change of character right there.
Right here.
I think so. I think that's the one. I think that's what I had marked up.
No, right here. This is the one I think you were talking about. You said the
Ah.
daily, because this one has a.
Well, if you pull it, you still have my chart.
Hold on. Let me pull it up.
It looked different for some reason. I mean, probably because I got all the crap on it.
Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Right here. So you had you're on the
Is that the monthly?
this is on the monthly, huh? Oops, cancel. So this was on the monthly.
Okay, so I think it's the last internal swing before that rejection, right? On the monthly.
Right here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I fibbed.
But okay, I got you. I remember. So price broke here and then it broke here. Broke here. So let me go back to trade and view on the monthly. So you you did the, so you're saying from here, you're saying from here to here. The 618. So this is probably coming down at least to the 78. So that would make sense that it didn't break this external swing high and coming down just a little more. That would make sense. So this is probably coming to the 78. $78. So that's probably coming down there. And then you might get your move up.
Yeah, but I saw what you meant though. I saw what you meant by with the two pushes in that one. But I said, well, maybe I don't know. Maybe it was news that pushes down all that, but it was 2,600 pips, like every one of those moves down.
So this here would be the cycle, right? So if we fib from here to here, Yes, this could be coming up to here somewhere, 78, 88, before you get the last push. That makes sense? Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, so look, we got, hold on, let me clear everything off. And let me make it a little bigger. There we go. All right. So we have we got we got one push, we got two push, and we got three pushes, right? That's the first move. So then we got one push, two push, and then three pushes. So that's the second move. So this could be coming down to, and then we had price pullback from this high to this low to the 88 and then start breaking, right? So price is, oh, let me put that back. Price is likely pushing down to, now we're saying the negative 27, but I'm saying that it's probably, if we fib this move up, which was your thought process on price buying up, which it could be. It could be buying up to this was the move here. This was the end of the move. Let me take this one out. This could be buying up to the 78, which is the negative 27 of this move up. Or even the 88. There's an imbalance here before the and I'm just going to go here before the next move to the downside, before the third move. So you have first move, you have the second move, and then you have the third move. That makes sense? Better? Was that better? Or no? Or no? Ooh, it's raining. Any questions on that? I know it can be complicated, but it shouldn't be complicated. Just look for breaks, higher time frame breaks of structure. That's it. Higher time frame breaks of structure. This is one. Here, here, here. That didn't help. You all have questions? Or are y'all okay?
You make it look easy, but I understand now.
I'm just gonna have to
Oh, but I
re-listen
want
to
you-
this again.
I want you,
Same.
I'm gonna have to
I-
listen again because I just don't see that being to one cycle. It broke structure again
where?
right after the what I had marked up as the second one, and then it went up and gave a double top.
So you're saying, you're talking about this one?
That one,
So
I
that's
got
part
that one.
of, that was part of one. That was part of number one, right? So Okay. So we had a break of structure right here, right? So that means everything from here on down is part of that move. And then you had, and let me, then you had this here, this break structure, broke structure here. Then you had this move, and this was the last push up that broke structure, right? So now you have, this was the first break of structure right there. And then you had your second break of structure right here. And then you had your third break of structure right here. So that is the first cycle. That's the first cycle, right? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now on the second cycle, you had your first break of structure here, okay? Once price broke there, it pulled back, broke structure. That's your first break of structure. Then you have your second break of structure, right? And then you have your third break of structure. So that is, okay, I see where you might be. Okay, so you're thinking this is your second cycle. But you had your
No, I had
second cycle right here. But there hasn't been 3 pushes yet. There hasn't been 3 breaks yet. This is 1,
Is it? Did you go to
2.
the weekly?
So this is 1. So you're counting this here.
Wait, I gotta zoom in. Yeah, I counted 3 weekly cycles because when I mark it up, I'll do the monthly swings and I go to the weekly and I put 3 boxes on a weekly.
2, 3. But then that would mean that this weekly break of structure would have bought up or should have bought up to somewhere here before the third cycle down.
Yeah, that's why I said it was such a long push down for just the 2 breaks. So I just, when I saw they was all 2,600 pips, I figured maybe it was news that it didn't pull back, or something.
But that's because I think this is the swing right here. This right here is the swing, and that's why price didn't break up. On the monthly, that's what it's saying. On the monthly, it's saying that's the swing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see it.
And then that would be the, oops, stupid thing. Yeah. So yeah, on the monthly, it's saying that's the first move, that's the second move, and then that's the third move. Let me see if that's Regia. Is that Regia?
I always put 3 weekly boxes in the monthly cycle because that's, or 4 or 3 1-hour swings in the 4-hour cycle, like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Say that again.
Because this is a monthly leg. So
Yeah, I know. That's why I was looking at your chart.
for the 3, so let me see. If you mark a monthly cycle, then you're looking for 3 weekly moves inside of that monthly box, right?
Mm-hmm. And I see what you're saying. I get it. I see what you're saying. Hold on, let me remove this. Actually, this would probably be the last one right here.
Yeah, I marked that up as the double bottom.
Right here.
1, 2, 3. I don't even know if that broke 3 times back for retracement or not, but
And this push up.
2,
1.
yeah.
So we had this push up for
Mhm.
1. This was 2.
Mhm. I don't even know if that broke or not, but
No. So yeah, I mean, I see exactly what you're saying now. I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. But it's definitely different on the higher on the monthly time frame. Let me see, because did you post another time frame?
I don't know if it was for this pair. Let me see.
Let me see. You did the monthly. What time frame is this? Oh, that's UJ. You did the 4-hour on UJ.
My bad. I'm sorry. I'm not on my computer right now. I'm on my phone.
Okay. Mhm. I can see that. I can see where you got the 3 weekly. 1. Oh no, this is 1. I can see 2. And then 3. And then actually come and then double bottom. Yeah, I can see where you got the 3 pushes on the weekly. So now let's count. Let's see how many in this weekly push to the downside. This is the 1. This is the 2. And that could be the 3. Okay, I can see that. I can see it. I can see it. I can see
Black
it.
was jacked all the way up.
I can see it. Because then this would be the 1. I don't know how that changed. The second push. Hold on. This could be this broke here. So that would be the 1 push. Then we got a second push. And then we got a third push. I can see that. I can see it. I can see it. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. So now that price has broken this high, broke this high, 2 and 3 pushes, pulled up to this supply zone, and then started selling. And let's see, did that break? So yeah, okay. So now that we got this break, we got 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's 1. And then we have this 1, 2, 3. That's 2. And now we're still looking for price to pull somewhere down here for the third one. So we're looking for a break of, we have this one here. I think this is what you did.
Yeah.
2, and then 3, and then a break. So you,
This is a weekly.
mm-hmm.
Uh,
So I'm seeing price probably, so this came and tapped into this demand zone. So this is probably coming to give a double bottom. This candle doesn't have a wick on the bottom right here. So price is probably coming to this weekly order block right here, and then start buying up. That's what I see. It's either coming to grab this liquidity. Maybe it's just grabbing this liquidity. But what I would need to see is, so this is the one, this is a move here. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, maybe it's just grabbing this liquidity. And then maybe it will give you a and maybe this is the break. So yeah, I would definitely wait for either a break above this high, a 4-hour break above this high, candle close, and then look for the buys. If it doesn't break this low, maybe this is the swing right here. So I see it. I see it. And then you're saying take it up to where?
well, I was assuming since it never broke the monthly swing with the body, that did it? Wait a minute. Oh, that's the weekly. That's the weekly.
The monthly swing
See that wick all the way to the left?
right here.
No, all the way to the left.
Right here.
No, I'm sorry. My bad. When I did the higher time frame, like swing from the bottom to the all the way to the top,
So when you
to
did,
the left side of the screen. No,
uh-huh.
not that one. Not that one.
Oh, this one.
Did it break that? I don't think it broke that. I'm not sure. I'm not on my computer, but
It wicked
I think it just wicked it.
It wicked it, and then it also tapped into this demand zone right here.
Yeah.
So there's probably from the move that you talked about earlier.
I just put alerts like on all on every area of that wick.
So this may just be coming to the 78.
Yeah, I put an alert like at the top of the wick, the bottom of the wick, and
so yeah, this is probably coming to the 78.
even though I probably won't trade it because I'm trying to trade the UJ.
Yep. So this is I can tell by the way these candles are falling, these bearish candles are falling, that it's going to push a little more.
Yeah.
So it's probably coming to the 78. And I doubt if it'll come all the way down here, or even the 88. But I don't even see that. I can see it coming to the 78, and then buying back up.
If that doggone thing buy up and don't break that bottom, we're gonna be in this trade for the next 2 years.
Wait a minute, if it does what? If it does what?
What if it go? I mean, that's what it's supposed to do, right? It didn't break the monthly. Well, wait, that's not the bottom. That's not the bottom. Yeah, I'm on my phone. I'm trying to see, but you know, I'm a
No,
little
this is
blind.
not the bottom, but this is the internal from the, so this is my concern, right? That this is the swing, that this is the, I forgot, no, there's another swing right here. Okay. So this did break here. So if you fib that move, that's, and wait for price to come to the 78. And I'm sure on a smaller time frame, it's gonna show maybe some kind of demand zone. And there it is right there. And there's a daily demand zone here. Okay. So now I'm even more confident that it's coming to the 78 and not down here. To then buy up to weekly. To then buy up to at least the negative 27,618. And then if you fib this move, because price then broke this structure right here, right? That's in alignment with it going to the 78 of that move. So yeah. So are you in this cell? I mean, are you in this trade?
I don't trade you AUD USD. I just did it because you said you needed to.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this is probably coming down here. And then what was the other one you did? UJ?
Yeah, I did UJ.
Any questions before I move from AU?
I don't have any.
Any questions? Dark outside. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm not even gonna mess with your UJ because you got that one. We're gonna go to Miss Adrienne. And her first pair was gold. Gold. Why do I not have gold on here? Oh, here we go. All right, I'm going to delete. She's on the daily. All right. So we look at our break of structure here. We had a break of structure here. So once this first break of structure occurred, now let's see something real quick. Okay, once this last break of structure occurred, the demand zone was here. Okay. Now, price pushed into the demand zone, but did not push back up to the supply zone to keep buying. So that would have been a lost trade. But once you had the change of character, the market structure shift, okay, once you get the market structure shift, then you change your thoughts, right? So this was the first market structure shift. So your supply zone would be from here for a sell. And as you can see, that tapped into the supply zone and started selling. Okay. So now that price is selling off, you have to now either, if you're not in it, are you in the sell, Adrian?
No, I'm not in it.
Okay. So now if price gives you this break of structure, right? Because this is the low. If price gives you this break of structure, it has to break this structure first. Then your next supply zone, and let me make it red so I don't be confusing myself. Would be here, but it's got to break this low first, not these lows here. It's got to break this low first, because as you can see, there's a demand zone here, right? So you don't know if it's going to respect it or violate it. So when and if it breaks through, then this is your for the next move to the downside, which means it'll probably come here, close, maybe close somewhere up in here, or sweep it and then start buying back up. So, which means it could possibly just continue buying to the upside. But if it closes, then you can mark up your supply zone and then start selling. Now, I know we're on the daily, but you can also do this on your 4-hour, right? So, let's see. So price really didn't break until here. So once price broke here, this one is probably not the best example for right here. Then price, it did come back up here, but not to this 4-hour supply zone. So now that you have, and it really, you're going to have to trade based on the instrument that you're trading. Sometimes I know GJ. I know GJ usually respects the structure. Does gold respect structure? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't trade gold like that. So I couldn't tell you. But all I could tell you is that market structure is king. So if you get a market structure shift, and we saw it on the daily, we had this market structure shift. There was a supply zone here and then a supply zone here, right? So it's coming back to either one of these zones. But since this one was the order block that actually broke structure, then this would have been the first one this would have been my first thought. Now, this could possibly be selling down, respect that, come back into here, and then sell down. I don't know. I don't know gold like that. But all I would say is once price got to the zone, I would definitely wait for a market structure shift on like the 4-hour or the 1-hour. And then take it back up to this zone. So, and it could just keep buying. This could be a if I'm looking at the weekly. So we can see based on the weekly, this is 2, this is 3. And this is the 4. So now I would need to make sure that there are the correct number of moves are within that push before I could say, okay, it's time for gold to, if it respects the market maker cycle. Because right now I would really, although price did break this weekly swing here, that was the market structure shift. This was the break of structure. It broke, it pushed up, it broke, pulled back to the supply zone. Okay. So now it's probably going to sell. So now I would need to see a break of this low. Look for a pullback, a supply zone, to then sell it some more. Price could come down to this zone. Because prior to that, this was the last break of structure here. So there's some imbalance in here. There's another demand zone here. If I fear the move, it's probably around the 78, 88, which is the imbalance. So price could come here and then start pushing back up. So that's my thought. So my thought to you is, Adrian, you were marking up the demand zones, but because there was a market structure shift, you shouldn't be marking up demand zones. You should now just be marking up supply zones. That makes sense?
It does. I was trying to, recognize the demand zones from the,
Because I don't want you to see a demand zone and think you should be buying. Think you should be buying.
gotcha.
You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, so now, like I said, once this breaks this low, then you'll be looking for the next supply zone for a continuation of a sell.
Okay.
I want to look for another one. I think you marked up US 30 as well. US 30. So if we look at US 30 on the daily, okay, so we have this break of structure here. Okay, and then we have this swing low here. Okay, so if price closes below this swing low, then that would be the market structure shift, right? But as of right now, this is the demand zone that I would be looking for price to come to buy, because it hasn't had a market structure shift yet, right? I would be looking for price to come here. Now, the way these candles are dropping, red, 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 red. I'm already in my head that I think it's gonna give a market structure shift. Because there is no pullback. Like I would be looking for the three, like a 1 push, 2 push, 3 push
Yeah.
back into this demand zone and then keep buying. But because this is straight bearish, I'm expecting it to possibly give a market structure shift. Now, maybe on the 4-hour, it's given some structure. So that would be 1 push, 2 push, 3 push. I mean, it could, but there's imbalance here. This this order block has already been mitigated. This order block, all these order blocks have already been mitigated. So I would definitely wait for confirmation once price got down here. Because like I said, higher time frame is given all bearish candles. So this could definitely be a market structure shift. So, and that's really all you have to do is just go to the higher time frame, preferably the daily, look at your last structural move, mark up your supply and or demand zone. And like I said, let me just go back so we can, so take for instance, when it broke here, when it broke structure here, right? That means everything from here on down is fair game. As you can see, this was the last demand zone, and that's what you mark up. And then you can take it up to the highs, or if you want to just keep going, or if you're counting your market structure shifts or market structure moves, pushes. Once it got here, it did kind of give internal break of structure here. So, but there was another demand zone here. And before I drew that up, I would say, oh, wait a minute, did this break? It broke. You see how it broke structure there? It broke that structure. So now you can mark up your next demand zone. It didn't come back that far. And if you were in this trade and thinking like, oh, price is turning around, you could still stay in that trade because price broke this high. This was a high that broke, and then it pulled back to your demand zone. Now this high broke. It should have pulled back to your demand zone, but it didn't. So now you have this high. Once this broke, there was a demand zone and it didn't pull back. Okay. So every time you break a high, you look for your demand zone. Now, right here, there was imbalance. I personally would not have, I mean, I probably would have marked up this one here just because it was an imbalance. It wasn't necessarily the imbalance, or it wasn't necessarily a demand zone that I would have marked up. But it was there. It was there. So, and then it did break close below, but it kept buying. So, but that would have been my thought. And then this break here.
Yeah.
So your next demand zone was here. Price didn't come that far and then broke here. So now your next demand zone is here. So now, because there's nothing to like look to the left to see anything, all we know is that if you had gotten in here, you would have been in the money. That's the one thing I know. So based on this monthly, you have a monthly, so you can set your limit here. There was also a swing low that I marked up somewhere. I can't remember what time frame. So price may pull back to that as well, and then buy back up to these highs. So if you see, based on the monthly, and I'm just going to mark up from the body, I'm just going to mark up this zone here. And then go to the weekly. Okay, so that was the order block that did not get mitigated initially. Okay. So if price pulls back to this zone, and we know with US 30, it could just be a wick and then be back out. Or it's going to break this low, and then that could be the market structure shift. Or it could keep buying. US 30 and gold, NAS, and SPX, you know, it kind of does what it wants to do, but because as you can see on the monthly, there's no market structure shift, but on the weekly, there would be a market structure shift. So that's why you got to play it as it comes. And based on the daily, I would be looking for price to come down here. And then buy back up to either if it gives some type of supply zone. If it doesn't, then it's likely going to keep running. So that's my thoughts on, like, I can't even draw a trend line on this because there are really no other than, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one, but I would say set an alert at this monthly order block. Go down, of course, go down in time frame. Or you can set an alert on this swing low. But I would definitely set alert on this monthly order block.
Okay.
And then if it starts to give you internal breaks of structure or market structure shift with maybe it'll take out this low or sweep this low, then I would look for that to at least buy it back up to these highs, which are relatively it did take it out. The high is 45097, 45097.2. 45097.8. So it did sweep it. And did you see where I was looking at? Can you know where I was looking at to see that?
That was the high open low.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it did sweep it. So
Okay.
now it's coming back possibly down to this order block to either continue buying or break below, pull back into this order block, because now that would be a market structure shift for a pullback and then a continuation of a sell. And then once this shift happens, then you start, if this shift, the market structure shift happens, then you're looking for supply zones. You'll be looking for where price is going to come back up into and continue selling. Let's see if there's a shift on a lower time frame. Right here. Oops, right here. Okay. And as you can see, price pulled back to that. Let me see if I can make a thicker line. Okay. Price pulled back to that zone. It didn't pull back to this supply or this supply. So maybe once price breaks this low, maybe you'll get a pullback into one of those supply zones. And then a sell. Back to this zone. And then let's see, what did you do? It you did another one too.
Yeah, I was just practicing the supplies and demands.
Okay. You can. Oh, you did a lot of them, Adrian. You can. Okay. So based on the daily, first things first, let me go to the weekly. So based on the weekly, this is the move here. Price tapped into the 78 and then broke internal structure. Okay. So based on the weekly, we looked at the higher time frame swing. This was the high, this was the low. Price pulled back to the 78 and then started breaking structure. Okay. And actually there's a break here as well. Okay. All right. So once price started breaking structure, what are you looking for? Anybody? Anybody want to tell me?
You're looking
What's
for
the question?
inbounds,
Once
not inbounds, what demand zone or supply zone?
a supply zone. So you can wait for price to come back to that zone. And on lower time frame, let's just go to the 4-hour. On the lower time frame, you would have been looking for this break here, and then you look for your supply zone to get into the sell. See how it tapped, and then it has been selling ever since. For at least that's a lot of pips. 2,500 pips. So every time you see a break of structure, you look for your supply zone. When you see a break of structure, oh, come on. Let me turn this off. When you look for a break of structure, you look for price to come back to your supply zone. When you see this break of structure and not the internal break, okay? Well, you can do the internal break too. Because once this broke here, it did pull back, but it's up to you. It's up to you. Oh no, this one didn't pull back. This was the internal break right here. And price hasn't pulled back. So I would just be looking at my swing lows, looking for my internal break. I mean, looking for my breaks. And as you can see, like once price broke here, price did pull back to the supply zone. So you could look at your internal breaks. You can definitely look at the internal breaks. And then once price came there and broke, and then there was another break here that was internal. It pulled back to, it definitely pulled back to this order block that had not been mitigated. So you could have used that as your zone. So just whenever you get a break, then you look for your supply zone for price to come back to. Whenever you get your break. And I know I've talked about this before because I talked about stacking. This is how you stack. You get your break.
Oh,
You mark up your supply zone. If it doesn't come back, then, oh, wait a minute. Did it come back? It did come back. It right here. It came back here and then it dropped. But it also broke an internal high. You see that? It also broke this swing.
yeah.
So once you get that break, once you get that market structure shift, then you start looking for your demand zone.
Mhm.
Now, this would have been an imbalance. I would have marked up my demand zone here, but it didn't come back there, okay?
Mhm.
And because it didn't come back there, right? This was my swing low. Once price broke, so you had this break of structure, price pulled back. Oh, wait a minute, hold on, that did right. So once you had this break of structure, price did pull back to this demand zone, right? Price, once you had this break of structure here, price pulled back to the demand zone and then went to these highs. So that would have been a great entry. That was what, almost 300 pips. So from here to this high is 290 pips. But you also have to remember, this is push 1. You got to pull back. Push 2. You got to pull back. Now, push 3 didn't happen. Oh, wait a minute. Push 3 did happen, y'all. Sorry. Because there was a break here. So that made this the break high here. That didn't pull back to, but then you had this break. And then price pulled back to this demand zone first. So that was the first one. Then you had this break. So you had this first break, this second break, this third break. So once you got your third break, then you're going to get a deep pullback. So this would have been push number 1. And I'm just going to do that like that. Okay. And then once you had this break, which did that close above? I can't tell or not. Then you had your cycle 2 and then cycle 3. So just remember, once this break happened, this break right here happened because there was a break of structure down here. Okay. Okay. And then there was a market structure shift here. Price did not pull back to this demand zone. But then once price broke here, price did pull back to this demand zone, this last red candle before the up move. And that went up to this supply zone that price never tapped into, but it also broke higher time frame swing. So we know that price is now or should be going bullish. So once it went there, it came back to this zone. All you have to do is now wait for, oh, wait a minute, that did break. Okay, so that broke there. It did pull back to a demand zone. However, it pulled back to this demand zone. However, it did not break this high. And as you can see, it started pulling back. And if we fib from here to here, which was the first push, price did pull back to the 618. So this was around the 618. And then broke. I think it broke. Let me see something. Looked like it just swept. So on the 4-hour or the 1 hour, it probably broke. I'm sure. So if that was the case, that broke. So where your demand zone was right here. And I just marked up to the bottom of the wick. So that was your demand zone. And then it came and left the building, right? So now you got a break here. What do you mark up?
Demand.
There you go. And then once this breaks here, you would have marked up this demand zone. Price did not come back there, but that's okay. You're already in about two, maybe 3 trades up by now. So now you have this break here. And then you have a couple of demand zones. You have this one here. That one's already been mitigated. And then you have this one here. Okay. So price hasn't come back down to either one of those. And this is one of those situations, you know, where Andrew or even Todd said, because I think what's his name? I think ICT says it or something. But because all these candles are red, you can mark these up as your zone, as your demand zone. But for me, I'm always just going to mark up the last candle. I'm not I don't care that if I missed the trade, I missed the trade. There was an imbalance here, so you could have marked up your imbalance. Or you could have marked up your institutional candle. So that would have been a missed trade. Okay. So then your next high is here. Okay. Oops. Your next high is here. That's the break right there. So your your demand zone is going to be either here or this one here. So once price pulls back, that should be your zone. And you can always target so we know we're targeting that price push down, broke this initial internal swing. So you know that you probably should be targeting the 78, which is where it is now, or even the 88. So at some point here, so we have our 1 push, 2 push, and now we're at a 3rd push. So at some point here, we probably should be looking for a sell to the downside. That did not break that high, I don't think. I think it just swept it. Yeah. So at some point we should be looking for lower time frame breaks of structure. And if you're just looking at your 4-hour structure, this is your swing low. This is your break of structure. Okay. And this is it looked like it might be forming a double top right here. So
I see that.
I personally would not sell it down, but I know that I know y'all be going for it. I know y'all be going for it, okay? But I would be waiting for price to come back to my demand zone. And it's probably going to take out this low right here. So if price breaks this low, then what do you do?
price breaks the low, then it's gonna pull back to your supply to keep selling.
If price breaks that's correct. So if price breaks the low, then it is a market structure shift. And then you'll be looking for your supply zones to start selling from.
Yeah.
And every time you get a break of structure, then I would be marking up the next supply zone for price to come to start selling. And as you saw, it may not happen every time. Usually the first time, usually when the shift happens, price usually generally pulls back up to that supply zone. Now, the as you stacking, you may not get every one, but yeah, that's the best way. That's the best way to trade the trend. Like I said, I know there are some counter trends that are fair game. But I would for the sake of less headache, I would just
Amen, somebody.
trade I would just trade the trend. So right now the trend is bullish. This is the demand zone. So I would be waiting for price to come here, show me what it wants to do. If it's going to break through here, and you'll know it's not going to give you a change of character here, like on a 1 hour or 15-minute or whatever, and then turn around. So like this is based on the 1 hour, that's my zone. So once price got here, and it might even sweep, but y'all know structure. And that's the one thing I know y'all know for sure. Y'all know structure. So once it broke a 1 hour or 15-minute, I would really wait for a 1 hour structure. And you get an impulse move, then I would wait for, I would get in on that pullback of the demand zone and then buy it back up to these highs. That's the one thing I know y'all know for sure is structure. That's at least 100 pips.
That's good for the week.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It might even be, yeah, that would be great for the week. Now I'm going to ask y'all a personal question. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on before I go on. Any questions on this one? Or any questions of anything?
I don't have a question. I just had an aha moment, and I know you said it 1,000 times, but I
What's up?
see the stacking now. But I also, so I'm going to intentionally, once you get those 3 pushes on the higher time frame,
Mm-hmm.
once you get those 3 pushes on the higher time frame, you got to expect a big move or semi-big move.
Yes.
Because I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah. Just like
Yeah.
GJ. Just like with GJ, right? So we had this 1 push, 2 push. Wait a minute, hold on. That was wrong. This was 3 pushes within the first push. And then we had the pushes within this 1, 2, pull back, and 3. And then we had a pull back to that demand zone. You see it? You see it. Y'all see it.
It wicked. Yeah, I see it.
And then we got a 3rd push. right? So now we have this third push. Oh, wait a minute. I think I'm missing a push. No. Hold on. This is 1, 2, 3. So that's push number 1. And then we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's right. So that's push number 2. And then push number 2 pulled back. So that this is push number 2. It pulled back. Now we're expecting one more push up to here. And once it pushes back here, we're expecting this push, wherever it comes up in here, we're expecting this push to push down to here. So that's the third push. I'm actually expecting it to push down to here,
Is that
but
a daily order block in that zone? Is there a daily order block in that zone?
yeah, this whole black zone is a daily order block. There's
Okay.
a 4-hour, there's a 4-hour order block here, and then one here. And then I also have a trend line here. So I'm thinking that it's probably going to tap into this 4-hour order block, and then start breaking structure. And then we'll look for the supply zone to then start selling. And then once we get our first, it's going to break internal supply zone. You can use that. Then once it breaks the external supply zone, you'll get another pullback. And then you'll get, once it breaks the external supply zone, that'll be part of there should be 3 pushes within that to be your first push down. Then you'll get a pullback, and then you'll get the next external break of structure. That'll be your second push. You look for 3 pushes in that. And then we know that the second push generally gives a 78, maybe 88 pullback, or give a fuller pullback, I should say. And then you'll get your third push. So yes, so this after 3 pushes, we get our peak formation, and then we should get our sell down. And like I said, I'm expecting price to come down here. This was a was it a daily? Yeah, a daily demand zone. There was a weekly, but then when I went down in time frame, it was a daily demand zone. And as you can see, this is our 1 push, our 2 push, and then we looking for 1 more push. And then this push is going to be the push of all pushes. So this one is going up to here, which is the, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Weekly, monthly. I think I erased, oh no, I didn't. So I'm looking for this to at least, I'm saying go up to the negative 20, the 78. That's where I'm looking for it to go. If not that far, at least up to this highs. Because you see it tapped into this order block, pulled all the way down, didn't break that swing, that monthly swing. So I think it's going to push up. So I had this low marked up, this high marked up to the negative 27. I'm looking for it to go to my, it pulled back to the 88. I'm looking for it to go to this negative 27 and or 78. That's the 78 is the higher time frame, this move from here to this bottom here. That's the 78. Do y'all get it? Is it, yeah, I know y'all get it.
It's making more
I
sense.
get
to me
it. I
for
just thought it was
sure.
gonna pull back first before going up further.
It is gonna pull back just a little bit. Cause we had a, like, I think it's gonna pull back here. So if you look at the structure, let's take all this off. Okay. Price broke structure. Okay. Price pull back to the demand zone. Price broke structure, or it didn't break structure. It swept structure. It swept it. Pull back here. Now price broke this swing. And now we have a demand zone. And I think it was on the, 15-minute that I'm expecting price to. Now I'm expecting price to come back here. Whether it's gonna come back here or not, I don't know. But it looked like the 5 o'clock market open. So maybe it'll sweep this low and then push back up. I don't know. If it comes down here, then, oh, that was my swing low. I'm gonna put an alert. And I want it to alert me once per bar close. And this is where I'll be looking to buy up. Now, I do think we had this 15-minute breakup structure here, a pullback into the supply zone. If it breaks this low, well, I guess it did break this internal, this right here. Price could pull back into here and then sell some more. If it breaks this low, there may be another supply zone that might take it all the way down to here. One, two, pull back somewhere up in here, and then it could be a third one, right? And then once it gets here, I think I'm gonna set my limit. Well, my limit is set already. My limit is set already. So I'm expecting price to keep buying. And the only reason I'm saying that is because you had this low, you had this higher low, you had this low, this came and swept higher highs and higher lows. Oh, why is it that bad? Okay. So that's my thought behind that it's going to continue buying. That's my thought behind that. But we shall see what happens. And you can take it to this high, which is 193, or you can take it to this 4-hour order block, which is 288. That's my thoughts. Any questions? Is Brittany still on here? Britt? Oh, and yet,
Yeah,
wait,
I'm here.
did you post yours yet?
No,
I'm not gonna kick you out today, okay?
okay. It's just that since watching this, I'm just like, do I even know what I'm doing? Sometimes I just feel like,
Well,
I don't know.
just ask. Just ask. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. That's the participation that I just need for y'all to do.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
don't know, just ask. I say try to what part aren't you understanding? Let me ask that.
It's not that I'm not understanding. It's just that sometimes like I I feel like I know, and
Mhm.
then I get by myself, and then it's like I have analysis paralysis, and I'm like, am I looking at this clearly? Like, I don't know.
So when
I
you're
don't
by
know.
yourself, can you at least if and you don't and you're not sure,
Hmm.
can you at least post your chart to ask?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, me or Kai or Adrian
Yeah.
or
I'm gonna
yet
post my chart. I don't know. I'm gonna post it though. I have help.
I
Thank you
want
guys.
you to
I
get
know.
this.
I know.
I want you to get this. She said,
I
please
know.
check us out.
Yeah, Kim. I'm actually working. I've been working on mine and the trading view, I'm just having all sorts of issues. I'm trying to post, it's on full screen. I don't know how to get back to where I can post it. I'm on my computer. It's just frustrating me right now.
Well, don't get frustrated.
You're trying to take it from
And yeah, I completely understand where Britt comes from when she says analysis paralysis. I'm basically trying to map out the origins and demand and supply zones, and I'm seeing so many of them on the daily, and I'm like, is this too much? Am I mapping the right things? And
So let me give you a clue about the demand zones, right? Once you have a break of structure, right? And you say you have this move from here to here. The demand zone that you want to choose, you want it to be in the optimal trading in the OTE zone. You want it to be at least more than 50%, 618, 78, 88. I personally want to see it at the 78 or the 88. That's just my personal preference. So depending on your trading strategy, because my thing is if it doesn't come back here, and I don't know if y'all remember, I said if it pulls back to here, I'm going to wait to see what happens because I would have had to cover this whole wick.
yeah, I remember you saying that.
So, and I said that was too much for me to cover. I think it was like 80 something, yeah, 83 pips whenever I looked at it. So instead of taking the trade, I waited to see what was going to happen. And as you can see, it pushed down. It would have stopped me out had I put my stop loss under here. But it gave me structure. It gave me structure because price broke this low. So now my thought is price is going to come here and keep going. Does that make sense? So my thought was this was my supply zone and that price was going to come here and keep selling below here because it gave me structure. It gave me a break of structure. It pulled back into the supply zone. It came back to this low, but it just swept the low and then
I
took out
started moving up.
my high. my swing high. So now that it has taken out my swing high, I'm now switching my mind from sells to buys, and I'm looking for demand zones. This is my demand zone that I'm looking for price to come to before I buy up here. Now,
And
if
I think the easier thing to do, like even with that small buy, say I broke structure and they pull back supply, just get out when they get to the next low if you don't know if it's going any lower. You see how it did go. Like you would have won that trade. If
what
you
do you
just
mean
took it
right here?
over to the right, like if you get in at the wrong time, it broke structure, went back to the supply, and it sold exactly to where it went before.
Right.
So
So Magda,
even if it didn't go further, you would have still won that trade if you got out right there.
oh yeah, if yes. If I had gotten in at this supply zone, yes. And I
Because
just
it's
took
gonna go right where it already went.
and I just took it to because you always really want to target the low, the last low,
Right.
right? So yes, that would have definitely been a great trade. And that would have been 76 pips. At a standard lot, that was $760.
Take it to where it's just been. I'm just gonna take it to where it's just been and get out, especially if I don't know where I'm at on the chart.
I'm telling you, that's the best thing
Get
to do.
out at the
Yeah.
low. Like you see it went
Yeah.
there, it's at least gonna go there and get on out. Especially if you don't know, like where it's if it's gonna keep selling or buying, just get out right there.
Yes, I agree. Take your money, compound your
Run.
account, and then and wait for the next trade. And as you can see, this happened. So now my next trade is from here. Now you can, because this was the low, this was the high, then this pullback. If you wanted to just take it from here to here, that's 140 pips. If you wanted to take it from here to here, that's 194 pips. You don't have to take it to 289 pips.
And that's exactly where I think that us new traders go wrong, because we take it to the high and then we want to leave it in to see how far it go and then it turn
See
around
how
on
far
us.
it goes.
I'm taking my money out at that one high. I'm gonna leave a little bit going.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And let me say this, because even if you took it here, right? Say price came here and gave a double top and then started selling. Okay. What y'all know is if price closes above here, guess what? There's going to be a demand zone for price to pull back to for you to get in again. Especially if price breaks, because this was the push up. This was the push up. So really, if price breaks this high, I think once price starts breaking these highs, and just remember, y'all know y'all pushes. This is one. This is gonna pull back. This is gonna be two. You know it's gonna pull back, and you know it's gonna be three. That's what y'all know that most people don't know. So, and then the three, because now this is actually the swing high right here, the real swing high. These are internal swing highs because price is from here to here, right? So that's the swing itself. So once you're going to get one push, two push, the third push is going to break above this high. And then it's going to push up to a supply zone that's over here. And then it's going to give you your peak formation after your third push. And then you're going to sell it. And then you're going to sell it at least to here. But as day traders, we can trade it to here, we can trade it to here, we can trade it to here. So you can get your profit here. Once price breaks, starts breaking these lows, you can sell it down to that previous low. Once you get a break, it's going to pull back to a supply zone. Once it picks up in that supply zone, you can take it to the next low. Take your money. Once it breaks, then it's going to give a little pullback to a supply zone. And wash, rinse, and repeat. But we know that it's going at least this far, but for sure, I know it's going this far. Because we're in our third push to the downside. We're in our third push to the downside. Of the second. Now, tell me if y'all missed this. Let me know if you missed it. This is the first push. This is the second push. So we're pulling back to the 78 of the second push, right? To the 78, 88 of the second push. And then your third push, at least here. And I'm saying here because that is negative 27. So this push is going to be at least, at minimum, 1,800 pips. But y'all know how to trade it. Once you get your internal market structure shift, you start looking. Once you get this internal market structure shift from here, you start looking for supply zones. Once you get your internal market structure shift from here, you start looking for your demand zones. When you start trying to do demand and supply, that's when you get messed up. That's when you get messed up.
Yeah, let's get confused.
I had a talk with Todd, but his Saturday call, he wasn't paying me no attention. He paid me dust. I told him, I said, Todd, I'm telling you where I think y'all go wrong. And these are just my thoughts because it's what changed for me. When I was trying to trade I know how to trade the back and forth now. But when I was trying as a beginner, and I wasn't even a beginner, I was 2 years, almost 3 years in, it didn't make sense to me until I consciously, because you hear them say trade the trend all the time. But when they're trading the sell, the buy, the sell, the buy, like it gets confusing. So once I decided to trade the trend, it just made life much easier. I don't like the stress of the back and forth. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Because you never know how far, like this right here, this pullback, you don't know how far this is. This might just come to this imbalance right here and then keep going, buying up. You never know how far the pullback is going to happen. So if you just mark up your zone and wait for price to come to you, then you can trade from that zone. If it doesn't come to you, then it's not a trade. Don't trade it. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just, I mean, I don't want to say it's just as simple because I mean, it takes time to learn it and figure it out.
Yeah, Kim, I just wanted to say that, it's not about the years you've been trading. If it's when it actually clicks for you, because
You're right. You're right.
yeah, I've been at this for years, and it's when it clicks for you. And
Yeah.
this is, simplifying it. Honestly, I don't know if I can be listening to Andrew, because listening to him, I get so confused that I don't even understand what's going on anymore.
Yeah. I don't understand Andrew either. I understand.
Really?
No, I don't. I don't understand. I understand him trading. Next time Andrew's talking about fair value gaps, I want you all visually to look to see, wait a minute, is that fair value gap at a demand zone?
Mm-hmm.
Within a demand zone, you're going to notice that that's where it is. That's what it is. He's
Mm-hmm.
saying the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but grabbing the liquidity, grabbing the high, grabbing the low, like,
Kim, what does that mean? What does that mean, that it has to grab that liquidity
so these wicks
high and
are
low?
pretty
What does that mean?
these wicks are pretty much liquidity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there was an order block. People who trade order blocks has their stop loss below
The wick.
the wick. So price is, if they're not trading, if they're not understanding that this, okay, they had this swing high broken, right? And they got this order block, but they don't understand that that order block is not within the discount. That order block is not within discount. Discount is 50%, 618, 78, 88. Right? So they're going to trade this to buy up instead of waiting to see if this high breaks first and then looking for an order block or demand zone to push, to buy, continue buying. They're getting in the middle. They're getting in the middle. This is the low, this is the high, this is the middle. Either price has to come back somewhere, as they say, the discount area, or price has to come back to the premium area. One of the two. This is in the middle, and this is where people go wrong. So price is going to come sweep this low. As you can see, it's coming down. It's coming down. I have studied candle range theory, the candle range theory. And I know that if you've heard Todd talk about the daily sweep, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right here, you see I have my this pulled back. This was breaking structure, breaking structure, breaking structure. Then it pulled back here. And based on the candle range theory, price swept this high, this daily high, and then closed below, meaning price is likely going to continue selling. This is how Todd trades it. However, if you look at this, because Todd trades it, if it sweeps the daily high,
Mm-hmm.
and then starts breaking structure. Now, for me, this didn't break structure, but based on the daily range theory, if it sweeps it and gives you a bearish candle, now it is in an order block. So that's the so that could be a reason to sell from there. It swept the high. It swept the daily high, sold, and then sold. But for me, I need to see it sweep this daily high and then turn around and give me a market structure shift. That's confirmation for me to not get a pullback and then a continuation of a buy. So I need to see it break the daily high. And yes, 1 day, 2 day, it took 2 days. And then it took 1, 2, 3, 4 days to pull back into, and I'm just going to go to, where was I? Oh, here, I was here. And then it took 4 days to pull back into, now this whole wick, I would have gone down in time frame to, because I know it's somewhere in that wick, right? So the 1 hour, and there, I would have marked up this here. That would have been my supply zone, but I know I have to cover this wick because I know that's where stop losses are. And price could have possibly gone up there to grab it. But it pulled back into, let's see where. It pulled back into, and you see how it like, it was right there. It pulled back into the supply zone and then gave a peak formation. And you can either go at peak formation or you can wait for price to break the double top. You can wait for price to break the double top, which is, let me just put it right there. And then you can go in and mark up the next supply zone. And that's where it would have that's where you would have gotten in for the sell. Like it is, and I hate to say just that simple. Once you get it, it's simple. Once you get it, it's simple.
I think that's the best way to enter. After it closed below, then set the limit.
After it goes below,
or whatever.
Because even for your UJ trade that you have marked up, Kai, I think you have UJ coming up to, was that a daily? Was that a daily?
Let me see.
Was it? Let me see. Hold on.
UJ is it's a violated daily order block, I believe, or 4-hour order block, and it's a
4-hour order block. Yeah,
bearish.
4 hour.
It's basically a zone.
Let me see where you have it.
At the neckline of like the big double top.
The neckline of the big, oh.
Yep.
Not
around there. It's around there. The thunder is not exactly there, but it's around there. It's a violated order block at
oh, right here.
153891.
Right
and,
here.
Right, and it's another bullish order block right to the right of it, and it's bearish order block right there. So that's basically like a zone for me.
Yeah. And it may not go all the way up here. It may or may not. I don't know how I marked this up. Was it a daily or a weekly? Oh, I marked up this candle here. This last up candle before this down move. That's what I did. Okay, so it was a daily zone. So I think
Order block above that.
Huh? But
It's
see,
an
this
order-
one has
They
already
don't
been,
have a wick on it either. The daily bearish order block. On
oh,
the
this
top.
one right here.
Yeah, I got alarm right there too.
Yeah. So with that being said, right? So price could go up there. So if we fib the whole move to the downside, that is around the 78 and the 88. So it could definitely go up there.
And that's the liquidity that Andrew talking about right there. Like that is, well, that ain't a bearish order block according to us. The little red doji in a
This one right here.
candle, right?
Yeah, and I get how, like, if I go to a smaller time frame, it would be an order block here somewhere. Probably on the 8-hour. So there would be there would be this last down candle before the up move. I mean, this last up candle before this
Or
down.
down move.
Yeah,
Yep.
because of this internal break that happened, like right here, right?
Mhm.
So once that broke, price price never pulled back up to that zone. So it could push up to there.
Mhm.
Like we said, it could push. Here's another zone here. So that means, because it's looking like liquidity right here, these equal highs right here, these two candles have equal highs, which price can come and grab, and then, or which is liquidity, and then start selling.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna put it here, but I'm gonna also put this here because it can come up into any one of these zones. So based on our we're looking for price to pull back to here. I think it was based on the daily or based on the 4-hour. Yeah, so we had this break here. Price hasn't pulled back to this demand zone yet.
Mhm.
I think it was 1 hour. So if we look, we got 1 push, 2 push, 3 push. So price could just come back here and keep pushing up, or pull back to this zone and then keep pushing up. But we know that price is coming up here. That's what we know. That's what we're waiting for. But we're just waiting for the best entry to get in
To take it down.
to, yeah, to push back up. Heck, it might even, this is a 1 hour. So from here to here. So the optimal trade and entry would be 50%, 618, 78, 88. So there's a zone here that's around the 50, the 38. That's around the 38, between the 38 and the 50%. So price could come there and start buying, but then based on the smaller time frame, there's a breaker structure here. So that means this would be the market structure shift to pull back. So I would want it to be here. That's just my thoughts. I want it to be 78 or 88.
There ain't no way I'm getting in that right there.
Yeah. Because if price gives an impulse move and breaks this low, that means it's just going to come here, pull back, come back, pull back, and then, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get it. Y'all get it.
Yeah, it's at least got to come back to that green zone. Or else I don't. Nah.
Yeah.
And all those lows that you just mentioned, all of that is considered liquidity, right? So it would make sense
Yeah.
that it would wants to come and take all of that.
Oh,
Because,
definitely.
because an order block is here, it broke structure, so people are have probably so what I've found, especially watching YouTube, when an order block happens, people get in at the close of that order block and put their lows below here. So I don't personally like that because you're getting in at the high. And we know that once you get an order block, price is going to pull back, whether it's to the 50% of that order block, to the 78, 88 of that order block, or it might even close that, because that can't, does that have a wick? Yeah, that has a little wick. But it might just pull back to that zone, and it could just pull back and keep going. Right? So we either want to get in here, or we want to wait for price to come up here, and then we start taking our sell. If price comes up here first, then we know we're taking our we know where we're taking our sell to, at least to here. And then once price gets here, you can take your profit. If it's going to break these lows, you'll know it might even come there. So say if it went up here, gave us our peak formation, and then so it might even come here, come back up here to a supply zone, given we got our M here, our W here, and then we might get a bigger M here. So then so price can come up here, not break these highs, start breaking internal swings for a sell of a continuation. So now, once you take it here, if it pulls back, then and it starts selling, now you can take it to, for UJ, I think we were taking it down to here. First place would be this low here. First place would be, or like we said, these internal lows, internal swings. You can use those as your targets. Wait for price to break. Look for a supply zone. See if price comes back to that supply zone, and then sell it to the next swing. And then once it breaks that swing, it's going to create another supply zone. And then you wait for price to get there, and then you just keep selling down. And then because y'all know the market maker cycle, you know you're going to get those 3 pushes before price pull back, and then give you another 3 pushes. And then price pull back, and they're all going to always be a form or a form of break of structure. So that is what we're waiting on. So if it doesn't come back here first, then we're waiting for price to come up here. And then once price comes up here, we look for internal break of structure, look for a supply zone, and then mark up that zone, set your limit, and then look for your sales.
Yeah, I'm just looking for sales. I'm just gonna wait for the sale.
Yep. Let me see something. Oh yeah, this is coming. I think this will probably come back here before it starts selling. I think we'll probably get, I don't think it'll come up there, but I think we'll probably get something like this, push here, a push back up. And it's probably going to meander up. along this little trend line, come here, break, pull back, and then sell. That's my thoughts for that. But even without the trend line, I barely even use the trend line like that anymore. But and as y'all see, I've been slowly taking away my key levels. Slowly. Whew. Those were my training wheels. So so yeah, they were. Like, see right there, price tap. You see it?
They did what
Mm.
they needed to do.
You see it.
Mhm.
It did. And sometimes it still work. It still work.
Mhm.
But you see, this is probably where it's gonna pull back. I marked up this key level. This is the zone here. This is here. This is here. So price is probably going to give us a pullback. If it breaks this low, if it breaks this low, then you can bet your bottom dollar that it's going to pull back and then sell. Because it's a key level. It's a 1 hour key level, but it's a key level. So yeah, I'm expecting maybe we'll be looking for sales next week. Now, of course, if price comes here and breaks back above here, then we know we're still buying.
I think one of the biggest things that I need to be better at is adapting. Like, okay, price isn't doing what I like.
Think
Okay,
it's
that.
gonna do.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, I wanted to hear your input.
No. She was saying if price wasn't doing what you thought it was going to do.
Right. Like, okay, that red line for the break that we hope to get in for the sell. If it doesn't do that, but it breaks above the high, then clearly get in for the high. But I get so flustered in the moment, not really able to like just adapt and like, okay, this didn't happen, so now this is what's happening. So go with that instead.
So I would say once price pulled back here, right?
Mhm.
Now it may sweep. It may give a sweep.
Right.
And I'm always saying look on the 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then if price come and I'm telling you, it takes a lot of patience because
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours of doing absolutely nothing. A little pull, but doing of absolutely nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time it gets here, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, it might be a whole more than a day
Right.
before it pulls back to show you what it wants to do. But I think if you are just patient enough,
Yeah.
let it tell
Wait
you
for the
what
sale, honey. People get jacked up trying to sell us right now.
yeah, don't get in for a sell because it has not broken any structure.
Right.
And just because it hit this key level, that just means it's going to pull back to
Mm-hmm.
here at least, right?
Yeah.
But if you get a 1 hour break, an impulse move, pass, close below here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to give you what it's going to show you what it needs to show you. So if it gave that move, close here into this demand zone, right? then this little order block here would be my supply zone that I would then start looking for sales.
So, hmm, hmm, hmm.
So, but it has to break. It has to close below. And
Right.
specifically, I say on the 1 hour. That's just my, my trade, my strategy. About the 1 hour. Because
Mhm.
if it wicks past here on the 15-minute, it's a break of structure.
Right.
But I
It's
want
not as reliable.
Yeah, I want to see it on the 1 hour though. That's when I know it's real.
Yeah. I guess I have a question. So
Yes.
when price comes back into a supply zone or a demand zone,
Mhm.
I sometimes get confused. I'm like, is all I need a tap in, or do I need to see the tap in and then more breaks of structure? Because sometimes I might wait for that and it just takes off.
So
You know what I'm saying?
because this is my low,
Mm-hmm.
my swing low right here, I'm just gonna set the limit. I'm all for setting the limit. And you can set that's 50 pips. That's a lot for me. 30 max for me.
Mm-hmm.
But 9 times out of 10, it's gonna just come almost like this one did. It wicked on the 15-minute. It was more, you could see it better on the 15-minute. And then this was the swing low. So it wicked in and left the building. So if you are unsure about, then I would say set an alert here. Once you get an alert, and I would just do like a 1-minute alert. I thought I set an alert here. Let's see. Thought I did. So set an alert. I always start out at once per minute. And why I do that is because just in case I'm doing something, I'm working, I'm on a call or whatever, it's going to keep pinging me until I look at it.
Right.
And then once I'm able to get to the chart, I then I edit it to once 15-minute, once per bar close. So every 15-minute candle close, I get an alert. So if price got here and gave some form of structure, meaning price came down here, pulled back, broke another little level of structure, and then broke this structure, then I am going to look for that demand zone or institutional candle and trade from there. So you can either wait for confirmation or you can just set a limit.
Okay.
But I definitely say set an alert
Mm-hmm.
on the 15-minute time frame once per minute first. And then once you're able to look at the chart, just look at market structure every it might be every hour. You might see, it'll be on the 15-minute, but you might have a few 15-minute candles, break of structure, and then an internal break of structure for the pullback for a continuation of a buy. So if you wait for confirmation, that's what I would wait for.
Thanks, Cam.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, y'all. 10K for the week.
10K for the week.
Period.
Like you gonna give us 5K?
No, if y'all can at least do a now I don't know what everybody's account size is. So
You don't want to know.
oh gosh. Go ahead and tell me.
I'm going
You trading, is everybody trading personal money or demo account?
I
Personal.
actually just passed my first and second phase of my first prop firm account.
What?
I'm telling you, Kim,
Did you?
I just did not say anything because I still think I'm in shock.
Don't be in shock. Girl, if you don't celebrate the wins, you
Yeah.
got to celebrate your wins, honey.
Yeah. So
Oh,
that's what just happened to me last week.
oh my, I am gonna spank you.
Thank you, Britt.
I am
And
gonna
I think I was just still stunned because I'm like, I know what I know, but I still get confused. But it was my first time passing the challenge, and I'm like, oh my God. And when they're sending the emails, I'm like, are they sure?
so
you got a top tier account?
let me tell you, be
It's E8.
E8. Okay, got you.
I don't know. Okay, so how are you trading? How are you trading?
I honestly, I actually traded from the order blocks, and I was looking at the fair value gaps and trying to be patient to wait, but I was still getting scared and jumping out of my trades.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I
But I want you to be very intentional
yes.
these next trades in your prop account. I want you to be very intentional. Okay.
Yeah, because it's still the same rules that apply to the phases that apply to,
Yes.
yeah. I thought it was gonna change. They were like gonna give you free willy, but no,
No,
it's the same
no.
rule.
No, the rules remain the same. And now that you've passed phase 2, so now that you passed phase 2, any profit that you make, you get a percentage of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to be very intentional on
Yeah.
your trades. Okay.
Yes.
Don't over trade. All you need to do is put in one trade.
Yes.
You don't have to use a huge lot size
It's a 10K account.
for a 10K account.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always saying you can use a standard lot. What size do you normally use?
Standard.
A standard. Okay. I say just remain with the standard. Trade the trend. And I promise you, you will be patient.
Mm-hmm.
Because like for this, we know price is still buying, right?
Yeah, I'm
So
not even feeling like trading any sell or anything. I'm just gonna wait for this, wait for the trade, honestly.
so if price pulls back here, then at a standard lot,
Mm-hmm.
you're talking $2,000, 200.
Mm-hmm.
So what's their profit split? Is it 80-20, 80-90-10?
90-10 for me.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I actually picked it. They gave choices, and apparently when you pick your choices, you have more less of a drawdown limit, and it's more stringent if you pick,
Mhm.
So I picked 90-10.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I want you to be very intentional from here on out.
Yes.
So do not jump in a trade because somebody said jump in a trade. Be patient. Wait for optimal trading entries. And I promise you that your next trade will be your best trade
Amen.
and biggest trade.
Amen.
So
Yes. And another thing that I was just like, what, if I'm always scared, and I don't trust myself at all, I'm just not going to do anything. So I was just like, what, I'm not even going to be scared. I'm just going to trust myself.
so
But I
this
still jumped out of one trade though.
so what I want you to
I
do.
jumped out of the trade because I was about to make more money. And I think I already hit my target, and I didn't want to do too much.
I'm telling you, I know this sounds crazy. I know this sounds crazy. But and I used to say this to Baba all the time. I said, we scared to make this money because once we make this money, we're gonna be we're gonna be
Kim, did you see that video I sent?
I saw it, but I couldn't hear it. I don't know why I couldn't hear anything when I had to play it. I might have to look at it again.
Go look at that video. When I see how these young men trade, I'm like, if you are scared of this market is gonna scare you scare you. Look, this market scared me out of so many trades. I'm not even gonna play that game.
Yeah. Oh, I know why I couldn't hear it because it was on Facebook and I gotta log into a Facebook. That's why I couldn't hear it. Wait a minute, hold on. They don't have no sound on it. Oh, wait a minute, here it is.
Any day. I mean, Nigeria is scary enough. So I'm sure that's
No,
why they're so easy to take those
look,
kinds of
look,
trades,
look. You know what it is? Those those young men that are trading, and people basically think that they are, they call them 419. They're like criminals. But when I saw what they do, and one or two of them actually even have academies teaching people, because of the poverty that we experience back home, making this kind of money, and the people that actually want to get out of that poverty, look, they are not trading with that kind of fear. They are trading with intent.
Yes. That's
Yep.
why I say be intentional. Wait a minute. Where are you from, Britt?
I'm Nigerian. My parents are Nigerian, but I'm born and raised in the States.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I am Nigerian. I was born and raised in Nigeria. So, yeah, I have seen poverty, and I came to the States so my kids could have a better life. And I have two kids that have special needs, and the services and all that, well, it's better here in a sense. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So seeing what it is poverty is, when they're talking about, oh, the ghettos and all that in America, I'm like, yeah, these people they don't even know what they're talking about. Yeah, this is not poverty.
Yeah, it gets
Poverty,
crazy.
So yeah, they trade with intent. That boy's drawdown was $3 million.
Child, honey, I would have passed out.
Oh my God.
They asked him, like, hey, one person, they were like, hey, how much you making? How much have you made in a day? What's the largest amount? He was like, oh, like $78,000. Another one was like $130,000 a day. They are
And
cleaning out.
it is definitely possible. I know I see some people say, like you're not really not making that much in a day. But I do know it is possible. Of course, you have to have the money in your account to um make that kind of money. Like you've got to be
Right.
90, 900, 800, 900 $1,000 lot size.
Exactly.
But and it is possible, but I don't want nobody using that in the group. Okay, nobody using that.
No, that's not the plan. But I also saw another trader. I think he was from Kenya. He was like, he held his trade for 3 months.
So one of the people that I follow is why am I forgetting his name right now? Dapo Willis. And
Haven't heard his name in a long time.
how I learned the whole zone to zone was Dapo.
Oh, wow.
But he trades from one monthly zone
To 1 monthly zone.
to the next monthly zone.
I am with that.
So that it could take 2, 3, maybe even 4 months before it gets to the next zone. I changed.
You still have peace of mind, Kim.
Yeah, you do. I changed it to daily because I can hold out for a week or 2 or 3.
Oh my God.
Especially if it's in profit. But with the market maker cycle, I mean, if you look at how he trades, he's trading the market maker cycle. Like it's breaks of structure, it's key levels, it's all the same. You just have to know how to look at the higher time frame to understand where you're going, where you're going to come back to. And that's the market maker cycle. Like the market maker cycle, once you get push 1, you got to identify where you're pulling back to for push 2, right? It's the same thing. It's usually a supply or demand zone. Like it's the same thing. It's just whichever strategy resonates with you the most. That makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's I mean, that's just it. And I know it sounds, until you get it, I'm gonna make sure y'all get it. I'm gonna make sure y'all get it.
Yeah. Oh, the end of this year, everything, when they used to talk in the Zooms, because I've been in these Zooms for years, I'll be like, oh, what is this? What is this? And I'm like, I don't know how, people have, different ways they learn and understand. But if you just started trading and they're talking about all this, like that day
It's
that
very confusing.
I
Yeah.
think we have a newcomer, and when Andrew was explaining, I was like, this girl is gonna be so confused.
Yes. But
I know what I'm trading, and I'm getting confused with everything he's talking about. So I'm like, yeah.
But that's why
I just need to dial it back and just, just keep it simple.
I'm telling you, just keep it simple. Oh, you say, where's Baba? I haven't talked to Baba in a while. I know that he's preparing to get married this year.
Oh.
So I see him out on social media posting stuff, but and I guess they are preparing to get for their wedding. So yeah.
I just remember him like trading gold.
And he probably still is trading.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kim.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Kim. It's gonna be a long recording.
I know. That's like 3 hours. All right, y'all.
Thank you for your dedication to us, Kim. Like, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, we sure do, Kim.
I just need for y'all to get to now it's 2 weeks at this point. Can y'all get to 10K in 2 weeks?
Yes. Amen to that.
Okay, can y'all get to 5K in 2 weeks?
Are we trading together? Is that still a thing, or we just
should,
taking
why
whatever
not?
trades?
We should be.
Trading is so lonely.
Yeah, it is.
See, so I think we're mostly waiting on either your trade in the GJ trade or the
Or
U.
the UJ.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Both of those will be.
I'm gonna
would
say
be-
something,
Say something, UJ.
because I'm waiting on you, Jay.
Yep.
Yeah, watching everything at this point.
We'll put it in the group when I see some action.
Yep. So as soon as you see something, put it out there.
Soon as you
Alright.
see something, say something.
I'm gonna
Me
say
about
something. I'm gonna say something.
it. Thank you, lovely ladies.
All right.
Thank
Night, y'all.
you.
Thank you,
All right,
Kim.